Vietnamese food is more than just what you eat. It's the way Vietnam tells its story. Through every flavor, every aroma, you can taste its history. Of rivers that feed the land, of markets alive with color, of families gathered around humble tables. At Cineworld Travel, we believe that every journey begins with flavor. And in Vietnam, food is the heartbeat of culture. Simple yet soulful, shaped by generations who turned everyday life into art. From the smoky streets of Saigon to the peaceful mornings of Hanoi, Vietnamese food carries not only taste, but memory, emotion, and connection. It's laughter shared, warmth served, and tradition passed down. One bowl, one plate, one story at a time. Come with Cineworld Travel and discover the heart of Vietnam through its food, where every bite is a story waiting to be felt. At dawn, when Saigon awakens, the air fills with a familiar music, the crackle of hot iron pans and the aroma of searing beef. This is bo ne, Vietnam's answer to the Western steak, but with a soul all its own. During the French colonial era, the idea of steak arrived with foreign elegance, served on heavy pans and silver forks. But the Vietnamese, ever creative, gave it new life. They replaced the fine wine with soy sauce, the butter with chili oil, and added a piece of bread to soak up every drop of flavor. The name bo ne, literally dodging beef, comes from the way it's served, sizzling and spattering with heat, forcing you to lean back as it arrives, still alive with sound and steam. Over time, it became more than a meal. It became a morning ritual of Saigon, a symbol of how this city lives. Vibrant, bold, and always reinventing itself. Because in Vietnam, even a borrowed idea becomes something deeply original, transformed by local hands, flavored with warmth, and made to be shared. Across Vietnam, the sound of batter hitting a hot pan means joy is near. That familiar crackle, that golden sizzle, announces one of the most beloved dishes in Vietnamese food, bánh xèo, the crispy rice pancake. Its name itself means sizzling cake, echoing the cheerful sound it makes when rice flour meets fire. But behind its simple joy lies a story of history and resilience. Centuries ago, in the Mekong Delta, farmers created bánh xèo as a way to celebrate the harvest, using what they had: rice from the fields, turmeric for color, coconut milk for richness, and herbs from the garden. Later, during the French colonial era, when crepes arrived in Vietnam, this humble pancake became a symbol of adaptation, a local expression of flavor and identity. Crisp on the outside, soft within, filled with shrimp, pork, and bean sprouts. Bánh xèo captures everything that defines Vietnamese food: balance, creativity, and joy in sharing. Because in Vietnam, food isn't just made to eat. It's made to gather, to celebrate, and to remember where we come from. Among the simplest dishes in Vietnamese food, few carry as much heart as Cuisine, fried rice. Born from modest kitchens and humble beginnings, it tells a story of creativity, gratitude, and the Vietnamese way of life. In the past, nothing was ever wasted. Yesterday's rice, cool and dry, was given new life in the morning walk. With a handful of vegetables, a beaten egg, and the rhythm of the family kitchen, those forgotten grains turned golden, fragrant, and full of warmth. In every household, from countryside farms to Saigon apartments, Cuisine became a symbol of care. Proof that even the simplest ingredients can become something beautiful when made with love. It reflects a timeless Vietnamese philosophy: harmony, balance, and respect for what we have. Because in Vietnamese food, every meal is more than nourishment. It's gratitude made visible, and creativity born from simplicity. Everyone knows pho as the soul of Vietnamese food, a bowl of comfort, patience, and tradition. But on the lively streets of Saigon, it takes on a new life. Pho Giao, stir-fried noodles kissed by flame and smoke. Here, the broth becomes sauce, the soup becomes fire, and the fragrance of soy and garlic fills the night air. Born from the creativity of street vendors, Pho Giao reflects the Vietnamese gift for transformation, turning the familiar into something bold and new. Its roots trace back to Hanoi's steaming bowls. Yet in the south, it dances to a different rhythm, quick, fiery, full of energy. Each toss of the wok captures the spirit of Saigon itself, vibrant, restless, endlessly alive. Because that's the essence of Vietnamese food. Tradition never stands still. It breathes, adapts, and keeps finding new ways to tell the same beautiful story. In the tropical heart of Vietnam, freshness is everything. And few dishes capture that spirit like goi ju ju, the Vietnamese papaya salad. Bright, colorful, and full of life, it's a celebration of balance, where sweet, sour, salty, and spicy dance in perfect harmony. Shredded green papaya mixes with herbs, roasted peanuts, and a splash of sweet fish sauce, creating a melody of textures and flavors that awaken every sense. But beyond taste, goi ju ju reflects the philosophy of Vietnamese food itself. Light, fresh, and made to restore balance in both body and soul. It's a dish born from the streets. Simple ingredients, humble origins, yet crafted with incredible care. From busy Saigon alleys to riverside markets in the Mekong Delta, it's served not just as a snack, but as a reminder that in Vietnam, food isn't about excess. It's about harmony, energy, and life itself. From the golden shores of central Vietnam to the floating markets of the south, Tom Nuong, Vietnamese grilled shrimp, carries the scent of the sea and the warmth of the fire. For centuries, Vietnam's coastal life has been shaped by the tides. Fishermen set sail before sunrise, guided by the same stars their ancestors once followed. What they bring home from the ocean becomes more than food. It becomes connection, gratitude, and love. Marinated with lemongrass, chili, and a touch of salt from the sea breeze. The shrimp is grilled slowly over charcoal, each crackle echoing stories told by the waves. As families and friends gather under open skies, the smoke rises like a song of home. Simple, smoky, and full of sunshine, Tom Nuong captures the very essence of Vietnamese food, born from nature, perfected by care, and always meant to be shared.
완전 홀찌에는 있었는데 그냥 이렇게
Light, playful, and endlessly creative, Ban Trang Cuan, or Vietnamese rice paper rolls, capture the spirit of Vietnamese food, balance, beauty, and the joy of sharing. In every corner of Vietnam, from Saigon's busy sidewalks to peaceful countryside homes, rice paper becomes a canvas, soft, simple, and full of possibility. Inside each roll lies a small story. Fresh herbs for fragrance, noodles for texture, shrimp or beef for richness, all wrapped by hand with patience and care. It's a dish that reflects the Vietnamese way of life, where harmony matters more than perfection, and where food is a bridge between people. To roll together is to connect, to share, to laugh. Because in Vietnamese food, the best meals are never eaten alone. They're wrapped with love, shared with friends, and remembered long after the taste fades. From the smoky streets of Saigon to the quiet rivers of the Mekong, from the laughter of morning markets to the warmth of family tables, every dish we've shared carries more than flavor. It carries the soul of Vietnam. Because Vietnamese food is not just what you taste, it's what you feel. It's the sound of sizzling pans, the fragrance of herbs, the kindness of a stranger offering you a bowl of soup. In every bite, there's history and heart, the creativity of generations who turned simplicity into beauty and food into connection. At Seni World Travel, we believe the best journeys begin not with a map, but with a meal. So come, taste the stories that make Vietnam unforgettable, and let your heart travel through its flavors. If this journey has touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. For more cinematic stories, more culture, and more unforgettable flavors from Seni World Travel. Because here, every journey begins with taste, and every taste tells the story of Vietnam.